Aloha from the islands. This is Trinidad, your island man, giving you my review of Arrow's 100th episode, number 3, in the CW Cross Over Event, Invasion. Let me just say right off the bat, even if the 100th episode of Arrow didn't involve anything to do with the crossover, it was still, and still would have been, quite a sight to see. It was beautiful in every way. You got to reconnect with a lot of characters that we've seen, unfortunately have to leave the show. Laurel, Lance, Mr. and Mrs. Queen Sr., fantastic. Even Tommy there for a moment, and friends again with Malcolm Merlin. I tell you, this was the episode to see, especially if you've watched it like me from the very beginning. It was incredible. That calling scene back to where he was running through the forest like he was on the island, like it was starting all over again. Turns out he was just on his morning jog, ready to take a shower before his big wedding day. It was so sweet to see Laurel again. But let's get into it. Like I said, this is a continuation from The Flash, where they were abducted. Oliver Queen, Thea Queen, Sarah Lance, Ray Palmer, and Diggle. They were all abducted to the mothership, as I speculated, to be played with in their minds, some kind of mind game, some kind of brainwashing. Apparently, the Dominators were after some kind of special information to make some weapon, maybe strategic information as well. We'll find out in Legends of Tomorrow tonight. But now to get into this episode. Like I said, it was really nice to see, some of the people who have departed, somewhat violently, return to the show. Even though it was just a little bit of a tidbit, they did the best they could. There was a lot of information to cover, but it was sweet for them to get the original cast back together. And let me tell you, it pulled at the heartstrings. And I kind of feel like Thea did. It's like, hey, maybe we should stay, Ollie. Maybe this is our reward for all the things that we've had to deal with, all the sacrifices we've made. And I like what Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow, said, just like the hero that he is. It's like, I didn't do those things. I didn't do those things I did for a reward. I did them because I thought they were right. And there you go. What a perfect hero saying, it's fantastic. We get a little Batman reference with the alley and his father getting jumped in the alley. Fortunately, the Hood, Diggle, in this case, was there to save them. Although I think Oliver definitely would have stepped up and grabbed that gun somehow. Just like he did with the vase when it was being knocked over in their house. It was nice to see the old mansion again also, or should I say the ex-mansion, I don't know. But yeah, that was definitely a callback, I feel, or a shout out to Spider-Man 3, where Harry Osborn had amnesia, and him and Peter are playing basketball in their mansion, and he knocks over a vase, and Harry catches it, like all of a sudden, just like Oliver Queen did, and he said, oh, hey, good reflexes, you still got it, that was so much like this. But it was fantastic. So, what did we get out of this episode? We got to see some closure between Oliver and Laurel, Sarah and her sister. We got to see a little bit of, revenge, on Damien Dark. Sarah, takes him out again. Oliver takes out Deathstroke. Slade Wilson. And let me just say this again, say what you will, about the CW shows, but here you have it again. Slade Wilson, Deathstroke, going to be in a major movie, going to be in the Batman movie. Looks like he has a clip in Justice League, the upcoming Justice League. Who beat the DC Universe movies to the punch? The CW, the Berlantiverse. Here you have the Super Friends. You've had Deathstroke, a fabulous origin. Everybody will know who this character is when he hits the big screen because they've been watching Arrow. Season 2 of Arrow was the best, hands down. But season 5's shaping up pretty good. And this 100th episode shows exactly what they can do. Lots of action in it. You had aliens, you had Supergirl, you even had a bit of the Flash and Team Arrow overall. You know, nothing but good things to say about it. So let me just get to it. Is it a Shaka thumbs up or a Shaka thumbs down? It's a no-brainer. Shocker thumbs up. Shaka thumbs up, baby. All the way. This had everything. Look at those villains. Damien Dark, Deathstroke, the Terminator. Diggle had to take on his brother again. The only one that didn't really have a villain in his own is Ray Palmer. But again, Ray Palmer coming from the show, started on the show, this Arrow show. You know, went to Legend of Tomorrow just like Sarah. You know, fabulous. You know, and now we'll see the exciting conclusion. You know, as they escape from the mothership and the Dominators, they made their way to an escape pod and was saved at the end of the episode by the Wave Rider. Holy moly. So it's a perfect intro for the Wave Rider, you know, for the Legends of Tomorrow, that they're going to come in and wrap up this. The only drawback, I think, between all these shows so far, you haven't seen much of the Dominators. I mean, you've seen them. They're walking around. They're running away. You know, they're twirling their mustaches, you know, right before they mind controlled everybody in the Flash. But we haven't seen any, like, duking it out with the aliens yet. And I guess they're saving all that for, you know, Legends of Tomorrow. You know. So that I'd say is the only flaw, but still, Shaka thumbs up all the way around. I can't believe more people aren't covering this. Grace Randolph, I'm calling you out again. You did such a terrible thing skipping this. You know, you got the Hall of Justice, you got the Super Friends, you got, you know, direct correlation to the movies with Deathstroke, Deathstroke, the Terminator, Slade Wilson, who's going to be in the Justice League movie, going to be in the solo Batman movie, all started on Arrow. You know, there was even, I think, a little reference to Cyborg Girl, the Flash, you know, when the Flash and Supergirl took her down at the end. So maybe a reference to the Flash movie, if it ever gets made, who's also going to star Cyborg, apparently. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Also, I felt a lot of this episode might have been a callback, you know, at least a nod of the hat to the Batman animated series. Let me know if anybody else felt that way as well. Remember where the Mad Hatter captures Batman, puts him into his mind dream machine, I think the Mad Hatter called it, and gave Batman the perfect life, and Batman had to basically give it all up, just like Oliver Queen and his friends had to. You know, it's never an easy choice. One wonders what they'd do in a certain circumstance like that. You know, I think, you know, moment by moment, it's touch and go, you know. There are pros and cons. It's like, yeah, it's not real, but it feels real. You know, I think we've all been there. It's a struggle that, you know, if I had made this choice over that choice at this time instead of that time, you know, my life would have been so different. Oliver's life would have been so different. Team Arrow's life would have been so different. All right. Well, I can't wait for the exciting conclusion of what's going to happen tonight on Legends of Tomorrow. So the final wrap-up at the CW Crossover event. Can't wait. I'm so excited. It's fabulous. Everybody's got to tune in. Go back. Rewatch this. It's fabulous. All 4 in a row. You know, this is comparable to, like, the Netflix shows. Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. You know, the upcoming Defenders. You know, again, CW, you know, is beating everybody in the punch again. We've got our group team crossover. You know, where's yours, Marvel, you know, on TV? And it's still, you know, like a year away. All right, well, can't wait to see what's going to happen next. I'll go ahead and leave you guys. Remember, aloha, hang loose, hang 10. Hang loose while you're hanging 10, but don't fall off your board. All right, and remember, Shaka thumbs up for this episode all the way. All right, take care. See you later. Aloha.